Hello, students. Today we are going to do the chapter The Necklace. Up till now, we have finished the poem Life. We have done 3 sessions of figures of speech. Today, we are moving on to the next chapter in our 9th standard SSC textbook English medium. Let us see the first part of the chapter. Matilde was a pretty and a charming girl, born as if by an error of fate into a family of clerks. She had no means of becoming known, understood, loved, or being wedded to an aristocrat. And so she let herself be married to a minor official at the Ministry of Education. So, in the first paragraph, we see that the main character of this story is Matilde. Now, who was Matilde? Matilde was a pretty charming girl. She was born as if by an error of fate. Error of fate means you say, naseeb kharab hai. That way. Error, mistake of fate. Fate means destiny, naseeb. In a family of clerks. So you know who are clerks, what category of financial position they have. She had no means of becoming known, understood, loved, or be wedded. So now, since she comes from the category of a family of clerks, usually people marry the similar kind of financial class of people. So she came from a family of clerks, so she would naturally get married to a boy from a clerk family. But she wanted to be known, she wanted to be loved, she wanted to be understood, and she wanted to marry an aristocrat. Aristocrat means a very rich man. So she let herself be married. So finally she got married to a minor official at the Ministry of Education. Coming to the next paragraph. She dressed plainly because she had never been able to afford anything better. Now, looking at her situation, you don't think she will be wearing very expensive dresses and jewels and all of that. So she used to dress plainly. She suffered endlessly. Now her reason of suffering is not her financial condition. Just look at this. What is the exact condition? Because she was entitled to all the luxuries of life was what she was feeling. She suffered endlessly, feeling she was entitled to all the luxuries of life. Now, what are the luxuries of life? A good house, a beautiful dress, some jewels, shoes, friend circle, social lifestyle, all of that. So she thought she is entitled. Entitled means she has the rights to get all those luxuries. Those are luxuries. A good social life, a good number of dresses, too many jewels, number of shoes to choose from. So that is a luxury. Especially with this corona thing going on, we've realized what are our needs and what are our luxuries. Needs are just the things you need for basic living: food, clothing, shelter, vegetables, all of these things. She suffered because of her shabby, poorly furnished house. Now, she suffered means she did not like her house. She thought, oh, such a shabby house, oh, such a poorly furnished house. All these things that another woman of her class would not even have noticed tormented her. Tormented her means these all things. If there was another girl who was of the same class, she would be like, yeah, of course my house will be like this. Yeah, of course my condition of dressing will be plain and it won't be very lavish. But these things used to bother her. Torment her means it would cause her mental suffering and made her resentful. Resentful means it would feel to her that this is unfair and I don't deserve this and I don't deserve this house and I deserve a palace and all of those things. She dreamt of a grand palatial mansion with vast rooms and inviting smaller rooms perfumed for afternoon chats with her close friends. Now, afternoon chats are a very famous funda with girls. Afternoon chats, evening chats, late night chats, morning chats. Girls can chat the whole day. So she dreamt. Now, what were her dreams? She dreamt of having a big palatial mansion, like a big palace, a big mansion with vast rooms, big rooms, huge rooms, inviting smaller rooms, and inside those would be smaller rooms, perfumed, nice fragrance. If you have been to Sri Radha Gopinath temple, as soon as Maharaj starts the Bhagavatam class, just before that they spray some air freshener, and wow, what a good fragrance. Already the environment is so auspicious and so pure, plus there is AC going on and there is lovely fragrance. So they fragrance the room for afternoon chats with close friends. So this is what she wanted. She wanted to chat with her friends. Let's move to the next part. Yet she had no rich dresses, no jewels, nothing. And these were the only things she loved. So she was this proper girl. She wanted rich dresses and jewels, and she had nothing. So she felt, what is my life all about? So these were the things she loved. She wanted so much to charm, to be envied, to be sought after. Now look what she wanted. She wanted so much to charm, to be envied, to be sought after. She wanted that she should have all the things in life which the others would envy, which the others would be jealous of. Oh, look, Matilde has this. Oh, look, Matilde has that. And to be sought after. Oh, I wish I had this dress Matilde has. Oh, I wish this jewel was mine. So she wanted these kind of feelings from her friends or from her group of social circle. She had a rich friend, a former schoolmate. Former schoolmate means when she used to study in school, this girl was her friend. At the convent. Convent means Christian school where girls study. In convent schools, either it's a girls convent or the boys convent. Co-ed means co-educational, where girls and boys study together. We study at Chaitanya's International, which is a co-ed school. So co-educational and convent, that's the difference. Whom she avoided visiting because afterwards she would weep with regret, despair and misery. So she avoided meeting that friend. Why? Because after meeting her, she would feel sad, hopeless and uncomfortable. She would feel unhappy. These 3-4 words that we studied are very important. Instead of using words like uncomfortable, hopeless, you should use the words in your vocabulary such as regret, despair and misery. One evening, her husband came home with an air of trump. Trump means victory. So he got something really nice. Holding a large envelope in his hand, "Look," he said, "there's something for you. Here's something for you." She tore open the paper and drew out a card on which was printed the words. Now he came with a huge envelope and she tore it open and she saw what was written. The Minister of Education and Mademoiselle. Now this MME. Let me mark it with a different pen. MME. M and MME. In English language you write Mr. and Mrs. But this MME and M is coming from the French language. French language MME means Mademoiselle, Madame. And M means Monsieur, Mr. So request the pleasure of M and MME. Let me erase this. You see M and MME, that means Monsieur and Madame. Loisel's company at the ministry on the evening of Monday, January 18th. This is how you write an invitation. These are the main lines of your invitation writing. This is not the only thing you write, but you write a little more above, below. You write the greeting. I'll teach you in detail how to write that. Instead of being delighted as her husband had hope, she threw the invitation on the table resentfully. Resentfully means, again, with unfair treatment. So she thought, what kind of a treatment is this? She was unhappy. She was feeling hopeless. She threw the card on the table and muttered. Muttered means you speak very softly, like you have to tell a secret like this very softly. You speak something. What do you want me to do with that? And what do you expect me to wear if I go? So now came the problem. The problem was she did not know what to wear. So we have done page 18. All of this is page 18. Now I will quickly show you a small video on this.
Education.
Here.
A long time ago, one of the most pretty and charming girls was born. Her grace and beauty was so great that she was meant to live a luxurious life, wearing beautiful clothes, expensive jewelry, and residing in a big mansion. She could have easily been taken as a lady of great wealth. But it seemed that fate played a trick on her, and she was born into a poor family. They had no dowry for her. She finally married a little clerk, Loisel, in the Ministry of Education. Madame Loisel, as she came to be called, was very unhappy with her life. She believed that though she was born beautiful and clever, fate, by not making her born in a rich household and married into a richer one, had played a cruel joke. She imagined vast salons decorated with antique silks, exquisite pieces of furniture supporting priceless ornaments, where she could give big parties. She wished to live a life that would complement her beauty. And when she and her husband sat down for dinner, while her husband exclaimed delightedly,
"Aha! Broth! What could be better?"
she imagined delicate meals served on silver plates. Madame Loisel had no fine clothes, no jewels, nothing. And these were the only things she loved. She had a rich friend, an old school friend, whom she refused to visit because she felt sorry for herself after meeting her own friend. One evening, her husband came home with an exultant air, holding a large envelope in his hand.
"Here's something for you,"
he said. Swiftly, she tore the paper and drew out a printed card on which were these words: "The Minister of Education and Madame Ramponneau request the pleasure of the company of Monsieur and Madame Loisel at the Ministry on the evening of Monday, January the 18th. Instead of being delighted, as her husband hoped, she flung the invitation across the table, murmuring, "What do you want me to do with this?"
"Why, darling, I thought you'd be pleased. You never go out, and this is a great occasion. I had tremendous trouble to get it. Everybody wants one. It's very select, and very few go to the clerks. You'll see all the really big people there."
She looked at him out of furious eyes and said, "And what do you suppose I am to wear at such an affair?"
So if you notice, there are a few different points from the textbook points that we read, but more or less it's the same thing. So we have done the chapter till here, and next time I will continue from here onwards.